The following broadcast is intended for mature audiences. These are real people sharing very real, deeply personal experiences. This content may be considered triggering for others and for those who are sharing. The chat room is a privilege intended for discussions and sharing. You are not being asked to agree, but you are being asked to stay civil and refrain from personal attacks. Listener discretion is advised. All right, thank you for joining Am I Mental? I am your host, E, and with me is my co-host,
KZ.
And before we get started here, I want to give a quick shout out to Rachel Conway. She's been doing some really awesome promoting for us down in the San Diego area. She is part of Genuine Psychological Services in Mission Valley and Encinitas. I've known her since she was still in school, so by all means, if you're looking for a therapist and you're in that area, I'd highly recommend her. I'd go to see her myself, but I don't live in the area, and we have the personal friendship thing going on. Anyway, so here we are, episode 1, and just to give you an idea of what this whole show's about is I'm going to share first this time about living with mental illness. I have ADD, I have depression, I have anxiety, and I have seasonal affective disorder. And these things have all impacted my life in many different ways. And what I'm going to focus on is sharing what a really bad day is like. That way, for you out there that also have these same issues, you are fully aware that, hopefully, that you're not alone. The show's going to be driven heavily with guests. This is episode 1 of season 1, and there are going to be 10 episodes. KZ is going to be on episode 2. Not sure what he's planning on sharing, whether it's going to be his experiences or his experiences living with others that have it. But, you know, we all have these kinds of stories to share. Anything you want to toss in there, KZ?
No, that pretty well covers most of what I would have said. I think initially I'll probably start off with my experiences dealing with people who have had it. I've had, a fairly extensive history of, trying to help and deal with people with, one sort of mental, problem or another. So.
All right. Sounds good. So you may be wondering what caused this whole thing to begin. About a year ago, I was sitting in my office and I was working from home, and I just couldn't bring myself to sign in and do any work. I couldn't reach out to any of my friends. It was basically a worst case kind of scenario day, except that I actually got out of bed. And I didn't want to journal, but I wanted to write. And I wrote an essay. I called it A Blank Page. And I wasn't going to share it with anyone, but then I decided to share with a group of friends that we all talk about some of our mental issues that we have. And I noticed that there were things that they never said that they did, and I just went ahead and I just poured my guts out on this. I'm going to start out by reading it out and then admitting to some of the stuff that actually, how bad it is. And hopefully that we'll have some listeners that are on the chat, and I can do some Q&A and maybe answer some questions that Kyle may think of. Or, sorry, damn it, KZ. My bad, man.
It's all good.
Anyway, so without further ado, this is A Blank Page. This is what started it all. A blank page. The oddly salty taste of an eraser and the subtle resistance of the metal holding it to the pencil between my teeth. The smell of freshly scraped wooden graphite and the jabbing pain of a tapping of fingers on the sharpened point. The page measures 8.5 inches across by 11 inches long, but it feels like it's the size of the Great Salt Flats in Utah. Blindingly bright, plain, white, unmarred. Yet it's just a blank page. They say the best way to start writing is to just simply start writing. About what? I don't know. But isn't that the problem? Where do you start? The feeling of breathing around my pencil, a slight pressure in the chest and a slightly accelerated heartbeat. Ah, my old friend anxiety. I should be writing. A blank page. An insurmountable amount of surface to etch and mar with cryptic markings by moving the pencil's sharp tip. Is it still sharp? I better check. Slight pain on the fingertip. Yep, still sharp. Do I guide it slowly and deliberately, like choreography, having a dance leaving behind beautiful markings? Or do I move it rapidly to simply get words out, quickly like a swordman battling for his life, leaving behind barely legible slashes and scrapes of graphite across the surface of the paper? A blank page. This is impossible, my mind whispers. It will never get done, like all the things you say you're going to do. How's that garbage can looking? The litter box? When was the last time you showered? When was the last time you said you'd do it? Well, you worthless liar, answer. Welcome back, my old friends, depression and low self-esteem. A blank page. Increasing pressure on the chest, and now the lower abdomen wants to play, cramping ever so slightly. Is that numbness in the left arm normal? Is the tightness in my chest really just anxiety? No. Best not to think about that. That will only be named, or will not be named, nor will I consider that. A crunching sound between my teeth, and now the oddly salty taste of an eraser wandered into parts of my mouth where it shouldn't. I pull out the pencil from between my teeth and see that the band of metal that is normally a cylinder is now pinched at the end with only a bit of eraser still trapped. The eraser end has a look similarly to the freshly scraped edge of a block of Parmesan cheese. I spit out the rest of the eraser. You know, eraser burns were really popular when I was in junior high. Popular enough that there was a PSA about the dangers of eraser burns. I never thought that it was cool. I thought it was really stupid, to be honest. Then again, I think a lot of what got popular back then was stupid. Not much has changed, has it? Once again, the smell of the freshly sharpened end of the pencil demands to be noticed, and I'm transported back to grade school and the smell of the pencil sharpener. I can hear the laughter of my classmates as our pent-up energy is coming to a head. Days and days of indoor recesses, thanks to all the snow, makes for a volatile situation. Hey, you need to get writing. Ugh. ADD is the worst as an adult. A blank page. What is up with that tightness in my chest? This is not normal for daily anxiety, is it? Maybe it's... No. Best not to think about that, because that will lead to the other thing I cannot name. Naming it makes it real, and I can't afford to have that be real right now. But naming both things that, and yet being able to tell the difference, is you considering both options. And you can only consider both options if you have accepted that those could be happening. Rotten fucking brain. It's not a heart attack. Chest tightens more. Breathing becomes more labored. Fuck. I didn't want to call it that. That particular that is always the first to come to mind, and it's always the least likely. Yet your grandpa and your uncle weren't much that older when they died of heart attacks, and your grandpa was much younger than you when he had his first one. I'm fully aware of that, you rotten brain. How else are you able to tell me these things? Great. I'm having an argument with my own mind. That's crazy, isn't it? It is. You should kill yourself. How about you go jump into traffic, brain, okay? I have more important things to do. A blank page. So write already, fraud. Write. I won't stop you. Ugh. I hate myself sometimes. Then kill yourself. Go ahead. You know you want to. Sadly, I kind of do. I won't, though. Life is much better with me in it, rather than not. Are you sure? Fuck you, self-esteem. I could pull out my phone, get in fights on Twitter, and feel better about myself for a short moment when I prove someone is dumber than me. But what does that get you? Honestly? Nothing. But I do get to escape from my rotten brain for a bit. I could use a nap. I'll be here when you're done avoiding doing anything and everything else that you should be doing, and I'll mock you even worse for it. I'm just so tired. My chest hurts. My stomach hurts. Pretty sure my left arm is hurting purely psychosomatically. Only an EKG could tell for sure. Damn. I wish I had an Apple Watch Series 4 now. Wait, I should be writing. A blank page. Maybe after I nap. Down all the pills in the bathroom and then nap. No. Are you sure you're not having a heart attack? Yes. How can you be so sure? Because it's just a panic attack. How does it feel now that you've acknowledged that you're having one as opposed to trying to deny it? Happened anyway, didn't it? Just like it always does. Shut up, brain. But if it lasts longer than 5 minutes, then maybe it is a heart attack and you missed your opportunity to call for help. Who needs suicide when you'll die of natural causes instead? Shut up, brain. You can still call 911. Slow, deep breaths. Listen to the bird chirping outside. Listen to the people mowing their yard down the street. Smell the clean air after rain. Suit yourself, but your writing still needs to get done. God damn it. A blank page. So, what do you think?
I was brutally honest. Kind of, laid it all out there, man.
Well, thank you. I don't see anybody in chat. Maybe people are just struggling to get their account set up for it. But yeah, I'll be brutally honest. When I said, when was the last time I brushed my teeth? I've literally gone months. I've gone months without a shower. I've worn the same underwear for over a month. Depression, anxiety, ADD, SAD, it can really take a toll. I'll go for it.
No, I was going to say, yeah, no, I definitely have seen the effects of it firsthand, not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to, make dinner, that sort of thing. I mean, it's crippling.
It is. The only thing that you ever want for food is like the biggest junk. Hey, Ryan, how's it going? It's just, it's brutal. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
I've been to therapists. I've been to psychiatrists. I've been put on different meds. I've seen the different side effects of different meds. We even went to an anxiety specialty place, the Anxiety Treatment Center here in the Sacramento area. It all helps. It helps me on my good days, but those bad days, man, I tell you. One of the exercises that we did is that we had to lead a horse through an obstacle course that we built, and we had to put meaning behind everything that we put on the obstacle course. And the idea was that anxiety is like a horse. Yeah, it can very well be bigger than you. It can very well be much stronger than you. But, like a horse, if you take it by the rein and you lead it, it will follow. You can have anxiety or anxiety can have you. The same goes with depression.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, so, and there's a lot of things that, I could try to, SAD. There may be a lot of people out there that don't know what that is. I mean, do you know what it is?
SAD?
Yeah.
Other than the spelling of sad?
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with that acronym.
All right, because that's something I'm going to be tracking throughout all these different seasons. SAD stands for Seasonal Affective Disorder. You may have heard it as like winter blues or seasonal blues. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of it referred to as sad, but I definitely. Obviously I've known you for years, but I'm aware of other people who've had that same issue. So.
Yeah, and like right now it's springtime, so I'm on an upswing. It's been really cloudy here for the last few days, and it really hasn't affected me that much. But during the wintertime, if there's a big storm that's coming, I could feel the anxiety and depression starting to set in even a day before the clouds come in if it's a big enough storm. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I start getting like a lot of anxiety. I start getting a lot of depression. I start lashing out at people. The medications don't seem to be working. Yeah, me too, Ryan. I've been hospitalized because of a anxiety attack. I thought it was a heart attack.
I'm glad I have not experienced one of those yet.
Let's just hope that it stays that way. The key is about an anxiety attack is that they typically last no longer than 5 minutes. That's the beauty of them, if there is said to be beauty in them.
Yeah, no, I think probably the closest I've ever come, and probably a lot of people, is that sinking feeling in the bottom of your stomach when you get a cop car behind you while you're driving down the road.
Right? It's like red, white, and blue means freedom in America until you see it flashing behind you while you're driving.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's Ryan. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah, it feels like a freaking heart attack. And it sucks because I've lost family members to heart attacks at young ages. I lost an uncle, and he didn't even make 50, I don't think. And I lost my grandfather, and I don't even think he made it to 60.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was actually hooked up to, I want to say it was an EKG, might have been an EEG, but it's definitely I was hooked up to a machine in the ER for like an hour or two. Fortunately, everything came across normal, and by the time I got, checked in, hooked up and everything, I was already starting to come down from my panic attack. But the worst is like when you're laying in bed in the middle of the night and you're not sure 100% if it's a panic attack. It seems like it's a panic attack. Everything is telling you it's a panic attack, but they feel so close to a heart attack, and you don't want to wake up the person next to you because you don't want to wake them up for something stupid. But at the same time, you might wind up not waking them up, and they wake up finding you dead because, well, you were stupid. You know?
Right.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Oh yeah, that's actually my grandfather. He passed away of a heart attack. My grandmother woke up in bed next to him, you know, as cold as can be, and yeah, that was it. I think he was 53 years old. So,
damn, that's pretty young too.
Yeah,
yeah, no, that's definitely difficult. You know, living with the mental health issues. Like anxiety, just like seriously, I didn't realize I had anxiety until I was at the anxiety treatment center. I was actually referred there for my depression because anxiety and depression tend to go hand in hand, and so does OCD, believe it or not. Like OCD is an anxiety type thing.
I guess that makes sense actually.
Yeah, and of course anxiety being able to cripple you. Like, I mean, I love music. You know this. You know, it's one of my greatest passions.
Always has been.
I hate music festivals because there's too many people, too much noise, too many bands playing at once.
Oh, yeah.
I have a hard time with going to concerts as it is, even to outdoor places. Yeah. Oh, I know, Ryan. I know. I know you. I've seen it. I don't have OCD. That's one thing I can say. And it's like, you know, when you have OCD, it's not like it affects an aspect of your life from what I've been told. And I'm hoping to get someone on the show who has OCD, like legit OCD, because it rules your life, like every aspect.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's I've ran into a couple of people that have had not horrible forms of it, but definitely it's you know, it dictates their life to them.
It really does. And like, I mean, I love going out to karaoke. Do you know how many times I blew off karaoke because I started thinking about it too soon in the day? So by the end of the day, I was just done.
Oh, you can't talk me out of karaoke.
You do karaoke?
Oh, heck yes, I do.
Okay, we've got to go do some karaoke.
Yep. No, definitely.
Oh, geez, Ryan. So you got the full nine, this full smorgasbord.
Oh, man. That's got to be rough.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. Oh, no. And it looks like I just lost KZ. Oh, there he is.
Yep. I had a... hold on one second here.
Yeah, you were blaringly loud there. All right, he's having some issues right now. So yeah, I mean, if there's any questions that you have, I see one person in chat. Ryan. There is about a 7-second delay between what we're saying and what we see. I actually did a test. And what's funny is that I actually have no ability to actually censor anything, even with a delay. It pretty much sucks. You back now?
I think so. A slight emergency. Hold on one second here.
All right, you're sideways. There you go. But I mean, yeah, like as we're going through these seasons, I plan on doing updates on my SAD. And as we start getting closer and closer to the winter months, I plan on doing an update on every single episode. Because that's when it starts getting the most volatile. You know, like day by day. Like, even like if a rain shower comes through, I could be fine. An hour before the storm breaks, I am just a mess. Then it rains for a little while, and then the rain ends, and I'm fine. But yeah, no, and again, finding it a little bit hard to try to fill up this hour. I didn't realize that it would be so easy to go through all what I had to do.
Right.
But that's kind of why I wanted to have the chat room, is hopefully this gets popular enough where we start having conversations in there and we can interact more. Again, thank you, Ryan, so much for showing up. That means a lot. I know there's other people listening as well. Yeah, we'd have you on for every episode. Although, we can only talk so much about how it affects your life. Because, like, SAD, for me, like, seriously, I lose my shit during the wintertime. This winter was especially hard, even though the winter itself was pretty mild.
Oh, yeah. Winter around here has been pretty much a breeze for the most part.
Yeah, last winter was rough. Like, last winter, it just rained and rained and rained. Love you too, Ryan. The year that the Orville Dam nearly collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
I actually didn't have very many problems that year with my SAD. Even though we had, like, record-setting rain, it just wouldn't stop. It's unpredictable. I can't tell from one year to the next how it's going to affect me.
Yeah.
Even the beginning of the year could start out nice and easy, and then all of a sudden, just like a curveball, just drop out from under, and I'm a mess.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you. Now, I'm kind of curious. I've never really talked to anybody about it, but it's not. Well, I guess it might be a seasonal thing, but Christmas time, I dread Christmas time.
I will pass on that, Ryan. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, it could be part of seasonal affective disorder. It could just be anxiety. Because Christmas time is just so stressful.
Oh, it is. Especially, trying to, raise a couple of kids and making sure you get everything that they want for Christmas, and, always feeling like you didn't do enough and that sort of thing. That right there, that is my worst time of year, because I never feel like I've done enough for my children.
And for me, most of my family members died around Christmas, like a lot of them. So yeah. I have a lot of reason that Christmas time just gets me so anxious. Unfortunately, my older kids, they know about how bad I got, and unfortunately they kind of accepted that, and they don't like Christmas either. But now, I'm trying really hard to be more positive, with my younger kids. So, I'll put on Christmas music, even though I hate Christmas music. And I'll sing along, even though I feel like stabbing my ears out. Because it's important to me that my kids love Christmas. I loved Christmas as a kid. I love seeing my family. I love seeing everybody get together. I love the large gatherings. I mean, I don't know about how big your family was, but on my dad's side, he has 9 brothers and sisters. I'm the oldest cousin. I have so many cousins. I could donate cousins and still have too many cousins. And when we all get together, it's just loud. Everyone's yelling to each other to be heard, because for some reason, nobody thinks about sitting next to each other to talk. No, we all yell at each other to talk.
Across the room.
Yep. And then as an adult, I realized I love my family. I hate get-togethers.
Oh, yeah. No, we growing up, we had a fairly good-sized family. Spent a chunk of my, life down here in the Sacramento area, traveling, a bit north there to go see family up there. And the long-standing joke in the family is it's not a family get-together unless the cops are involved. But there was always some sort of family drama. Somebody didn't cook something right. Somebody didn't bring something. Somebody didn't do something. And it got to the point, again, it's anxiety or whatever came into play, where it's like, I really don't want to do it. I love my family, but I don't want to be there.
Right. I love my family, but I don't love being with my family during that time of year.
Yeah.
Because they're all insane.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, that's it. And it's just one of those where, as everybody started getting older, it was, less family interaction. I mean, we still, would see each other every so often, but it wouldn't be the big group of people anymore.
Right.
So.
Now, one of the nice things is that with my family is that we every 5 years while my grandparents were alive, we had family reunions, and that was always during the 4th of July weekend. And, I mean, you know from the town that we lived in together, that 4th of July is the most insane period of time for that town. It literally ballooned up by more than 4 times its original size just from the visitors.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much that town freaking goes crazy.
I mean, just that 4K run walk has more people in it than there are citizens that live in that town.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And but you're already used to having so many people around that it was fun going over to the family reunion, because if I'm going to be surrounded by a bunch of people, at least it's around family there, and it's outdoors. Yeah. You know, we're not all trapped in the house yelling at each other. We're all outside playing wiffle ball.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, back to the Christmas thing though. Yeah. No, I loved it as a child, but as you start becoming more responsible, you start having kids to take care of, that sort of thing. I can't stand it. With Christmas music, like what you're talking about there. I have a very strict policy in my house. There is no Christmas music until after Thanksgiving, and then you can listen to it up until New Year's, and that's it. You get your month window.
That's my policy as well. But then the wife is all happy because we have a radio station that goes 24-hour Christmas music.
Oh, God.
You eventually memorize the playlist.
Oh, yeah.
And what's sad is I actually... this year, I discovered it was a Christmas mix station that I found on my Apple Music that actually had songs that I had never heard before for Christmas. And they were actually really good. And I was shocked that these, how come this isn't in normal rotation? It's like the most modern song you ever hear is Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas. And dear God, that song is played out.
It is.
And it's like, okay, then you get the new twists on old classics like Lady Gaga, It's Cold Outside. Michael Bublé, every Christmas song imaginable. Yeah, no, Ryan, that's definitely something I would love you on the show. And that would be something definitely worth talking about as well. That is brutal. Are you looking at the chat at all? Okay.
No, I don't. I don't have it up in front of me now.
You might want to do that sometime. Anyway, Ryan just said, I lost my love for Christmas when my kids were taken from me by you-know-who.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a difficult one.
Yeah, no, I was there for Ryan. I was his ride or die. Yeah. And yeah, that's PTSD and depression got worse. Yeah, naturally. Yeah, actually, if you just went on to Spreaker.com/show/mental-livecast, you could watch and get the chat there and just mute the audio.
Oh, nice. I'll have to. Yeah, I'll probably pull that up on episode 2.
Sounds good. Actually, we're getting. Actually, it looks like the version that I purchased, I thought it was an hour long. It looks like it's 45 minutes long. Because it says we've been recording for 28 minutes, and we have 16 minutes left, plus some seconds in there, yeah.
No worries.
I'll definitely ride or die, brother. And when I pick someone as a brother, I don't take that lightly.
No.
KZ knows
I'll vouch
this.
for you.
KZ
I'll vouch for you.
Yeah, if KZ said, hey, I need help right now, no questions asked, it's urgent, I'd be up there, no questions asked. Of course, I'd have to wear a mask right now since I got exposed to COVID-19 yesterday.
Right.
Potentially. Have to get my son to go get himself tested because he's showing all the classic symptoms. 102-degree fever, coughing, dry cough, irritated throat, and a light runny nose. I mean, you can't really nail it down any closer than that.
Yeah. How long has he not been feeling well for?
He just got symptomatic last night, where he just started getting a little bit of a sore throat. Fortunately, I'm the only one in the house that really got exposed. And I mean, my exposure is like, there's no doubt I'm exposed. The rest of the family might have been exposed, but since COVID-19 dies after about 9 hours on surfaces, and nobody was awake until about 12 hours later, I'm not too worried. But I got a direct hit.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully it's not that. But no, I had my sister thought she had it, fever, cough, all the symptoms. Within 24 hours, she was feeling a lot better. So it looked like it was more of a 24-hour bug instead of the actual the COVID-19.
Yeah, I mean, there is still a respiratory flu going around that's not nearly as powerful.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is about why COVID-19 is so powerful and why it's called a novel coronavirus is because the term novel means that it's not of human origin and it's not seen in the human species before. That means it's coming from an animal. And we don't have any kind of natural immunity to any viruses that come from an animal.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't go symptomatic as fast as we do. Why the symptoms are kind of weird and hard to nail down at first. And why, even when it seems like it could be mild, it could still kill you. Like COVID-19, you could have what seems like a mild cold and get over it. And then a couple days later, you're on your deathbed with pneumonia because the COVID-19 was actually attacking your lung tissue the whole time.
Yeah. No,
Thanks,
just add that to another list of things to worry about.
Yeah, well, yeah. Meanwhile, you have an essential job which puts you out in exposure.
Exactly, but thankfully the job I have kind of keeps me away from people. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, except for this last week. This last week, since it's been working hand in hand with a bunch of other coworkers for the time being. So. But starting Monday though, or Tuesday, I'm back on my own.
Back how you like it.
Yeah, back into solitude.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the nerds of the world are going social distancing. Pfft, easy.
Right. Animal Crossing coming out. Thank you.
Oh no, don't.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me started.
Oh yes.
Oh, damn it. I forgot how much of a gamer you are. Since you brought up Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah.
I'm in summer on my new game already. I went with the mining map.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which of course, having video games on your phone, talk about one of the worst possible things on the planet when you have depression and anxiety. The easiest way in the world to just put everything off.
That's it. But hey, I will. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I should take a shower, or I could beat this level.
Exactly. I could go to sleep right now, but I'm almost done doing this in the game. I'll go do that instead.
Yeah, and then games like Stardew Valley, every time you accomplish one thing, there's like a dozen other things that you can accomplish right after that. And it's just, it's just a constant chain of just one more thing, just one more thing, just one more thing. And I think that's why Skyrim was so fucking popular.
Oh God, yes. Yep. Yeah, I would imagine those games with people with OCD would just, they would not sleep at all just to get further in the game.
Right. But yeah, no, when I was talking about, how I had gone months without any personal hygiene.
Yeah.
You're disgusting. You feel disgusting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You look disgusting. I know you can tell that I haven't washed my hair in a month. I know that my teeth get really yellow and my breath smells like, hot garbage. As my wife so loves to tell me. I know. Yeah. I feel gross. And the sad thing is it just makes my condition worse. Makes me less likely to go and get it fixed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is yucky, Ryan. It's very yucky. And this is stuff that until today, I've never admitted to anybody how bad it got. I even started I was trying a different podcast at one point called Insurmountable Tasks, but I tried it in the middle of winter, and it turned out that going to episode 2 was an insurmountable task. It has a lot to do with ADD, I found out, where simple things seem impossible because you have really poor time management. Like, if I have a basket of laundry to fold, what everybody will see is laundry to the edge of the top of the basket. What I see is a mountain of clothes that stands 4 feet off the ground. I know I can fold it. I know it's not that much. I know I can get it done. I know I could probably be done in under an hour. I could probably get it done in about 15, 20 minutes. But taking that first step seems impossible. And the more I beat myself up over it, the more likely I am to not do it. Which is kind of goes back to the whole karaoke thing. If you were to call me up and say, hey, I'm heading out to karaoke, come meet me, I'm much more likely to come and join you than if you were to call me in the morning and say, hey, let's do karaoke tonight.
I'll keep that in mind.
Although now, the thing is that now that I'm aware of it, I have to fight through that. I need more exposure to that. So that way I can fight through it.
I will warn you a little bit before before we get too far into the karaoke thing. If drinking's involved, I get a little bit more twangy as the night goes on.
I'm not surprised.
You'll get some country.
Hey, we grew up in the sticks.
Exactly.
And Ryan grew up in the sticks. He sings a lot of country. As a matter of fact, he got me to fall in love with some country.
Oh, man.
And I have been known to sing a country song here and there.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't Take the Girl is one of my favorites.
Oh, man.
Oof.
Nah, friends in low places.
I have to say, having DJ'd and run karaoke, and I DJ'd 2 nights a week, and I ran karaoke, 2 nights a week, and then I started running karaoke 4 nights a week. After a year and a half of that, I hate that goddamn song.
Black Sabbath War Pigs, that's another high on the list.
Oh, that's one of my warm-up songs.
Yeah, Cake, Going the Distance.
I do Marcy Playground, Sex and Candy.
Nice. Yeah, or Cake, I Will Survive. Their rendition of that song. It's fantastic.
I've never heard that song in monotone.
Oh,
you're talking about Cake.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great. I can sing it perfectly. It's awesome.
You just have to just make sure you're monotone.
That's it. Exactly. Sing it like Ben Stein.
Oh, Jesus. Bueller.
Now, the other one, though, that I like to do just because, Top Gun and all is The Righteous Brothers, Love and Feeling.
Nice. I also do Bodies by Drowning Pool.
Nice.
I also do Stupefy by Disturbed.
Nice.
And Falling Apart, I think that's what it is. By Korn. I think it's Falling Apart. God damn it.
Coming Undone?
Yeah, that's the one. Coming Undone.
Gotcha.
The da-da-da-dun-da-da-da-dun-da-da-da-dun-da-da-da-dun. Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Ryan's going, his warm-up is Folsom Prison Blues.
Awesome. Oh.
So, yeah. Well, I guess we're getting close to the end here. We got about 6 minutes left.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan, for joining us in the chat. Hopefully we've had more listeners than just you, and hopefully we can get them all in chat. The way to get into chat, if you're wondering, is you have to sign up for a free account with Sprecher. Don't worry, they have a great privacy policy. I've read it myself, but I still recommend you read it yourself as well so you know what you're getting into. Don't just take my word for it. And then it'll allow you to go ahead and chat. Now, if you plan on joining as a guest, you might want to use a pseudonym, in the chat, because if you're a regular and you're chatting constantly and all of a sudden one day there's a guest on and you vanish from chat people might figure out who's on the chat or who's the guest. just throwing that out there.
Yeah, or if he accidentally drops your name.
Yeah, that won't happen again. Of course, I'm just reading the name on the chat here for Ryan Tiganoff.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, time is running out. Upgrade your account now to get longer broadcasting time. Yeah, not happening. But I'm hoping that with this whole COVID-19 thing, with people being more social distancing, more quarantining, that people are going to start looking for more things to do, and hopefully this will be something that they do, is listen to us.
Would be nice.
I will say I did not plan on launching this at such a time. There was no way I would have known about this. If you talk to KZ, you'd know that I have been working on this since like January or February.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, this is not something that was just, done. Hey, I got an idea. Let's take advantage of the situation. There was no COVID-19 at the time. It was strictly pig-to-pig transmission at the time. And was not considered anything that was going to threaten mankind. And yet now here we are.
Yep.
And for you shut-ins out there that might be listening to this, Season 1, all the guest slots are already filled. Season 2, I will start planning that in end of May, beginning of June, hoping to launch it in July. Reach out. mentallivecast@gmail.com. That's the way to reach us, and we can go ahead and get you on. Privacy is my number one thing. I am not going to share any information as to who is on this broadcast, when or why or what, for any reason at all. Even under a warrant, I will still do everything I can to fight giving out any of that information. It's not my secret to give. It's not my tale to tell. You share on this show, that's your share. That's your whole thing. You get to tell it. Hey, 4. And you just came in right at the tail end. We only have 2 minutes and 55 seconds left of this broadcast. But you can still go ahead and listen to it. When this is done, it should auto-push to YouTube. It should auto-push to Facebook. I'm trying to straighten out some issues with Twitter, and it should also push out to SoundCloud. All of them with the same name, Mental Livecast, even though it's technically named Am I Mental? It was so much easier to just use Mental Livecast for all the URLs. Oh, I see. He changed his name to 4.
No.
Like the number 4, not like golfing.
Right.
But I will say, I do have a special guest lined up for episode 10. I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to say I have a special guest lined up. And also, even if you can't be on the air for a share, we can go ahead and take an audio recording. It's best if we have you on live, because then if it goes less than an hour or less than the 45 minutes, we can get a little QA session, as the audience builds up. Which I'm confident it will. Oh, Divergent Series 4. Got it. So, anything you have left to share, KZ? Because we got like a minute and 27 left.
Nope, I'm going to hold out for most of mine until next week.
All right. Yeah, so next week you're going to be the one giving your share. I hope
I'll see if
I hope that I set a decent tone.
You did. I'll see if I can last longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, don't rush through it like I did. Try to, pad it out a little bit.
Right.
But hey,
exactly.
You know what? That's stuff that happens when you do a world premiere of something, right? That you've never done before.
Exactly. There'll be bumps in the road, but we'll iron it out. It's all good.
Yeah, maybe this time we won't have technical issues with you just vanishing suddenly and then coming back blaringly loud.
Right. Yeah, that was. I'll make sure that all the memos are sent out and everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, you sounded like you were talking through like a kazoo. It was so bad.
Oh man. Yeah. Small technical difficulties for the first episode, but we'll make it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Am I Mental? The show is copyright 2020 by me, E. And see you next week.